Welcome guys! Before we jump into this full Brody build breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment telling me what hero you want me to play next. Your support means a lot. Now, let's get straight into it. When you play Brody in solo rank, every item you choose matters, because he's not like other marksmen who rely on spamming basic attacks. His entire power comes from slow, heavy basic attacks that apply marks, and the more value each hit gives, the stronger he becomes. That's why starting with warrior boots immediately changes your early game. You get plus 40 movement speed, plus 18 physical defense, and the passive that gives you 4 extra physical defense for 3 seconds every time you take physical damage, stacking up to 20. This means Brody can stand in lane much longer than expected. Since enemies usually try to pressure Brody early, these defensive numbers add up fast. When you take a hit, that extra 20 physical defense comes online, and suddenly their follow-up shots deal less damage. This lets you keep trading, keep stacking your marks, and punish enemies who underestimate how tanky you are with just boots. The movement speed helps you step in and out, land your stun, reposition, and avoid staying in one spot too long. Brody wins fights by moving smart, and warrior boots support that perfectly. Once you're stable in lane, Blade of the Heptases gives Brody his first big damage spike. The item provides plus 70 physical attack, plus 250 HP, and plus 15 physical penetration, but the reason it's so perfect for Brody is the ambush passive. If you don't deal or take damage for 5 seconds, excluding minions and creeps, your next basic attack deals an extra 160 damage plus 40% of your total physical attack, and it slows the enemy by 40% for 1.5 seconds. Since Brody naturally pauses between hits due to his slow attack animation, this passive activates constantly without effort. When that empowered basic lands, it immediately shifts the momentum of the trade. The slow gives you room to apply more marks, and that heavy starting hit feels like a mini burst. The bonus HP also helps Brody avoid getting melted in early skirmishes, letting him stay aggressive without gambling too much. As the game moves toward the mid-phase, Malefic Gun becomes one of your strongest power spikes. It gives plus 40 physical attack, plus 20% attack speed, and 2 incredibly important passives. The first, Armor Buster, grants you plus 30% physical penetration, which is massive for Brody because every single attack he throws needs to hit hard. Tanks think they can build armor and survive your poke, but Malefic Gun ignores that plan completely. On top of that, you also gain a plus 12% basic attack range increase, and on Brody, that extra range feels unfair in the best way possible. You start hitting enemies from angles they didn't expect, tagging them with marks from a distance that makes it difficult for them to trade back. And every time you hit someone, you get plus 10% movement speed for 0.5 seconds, making your kiting smoother and helping you dodge retaliations. Malefic Gun turns Brody into a long-range, armor-breaking menace. When assassins and fighters begin diving into the backline, Wind of Nature becomes one of Brody's most important survival tools. You get plus 30 physical attack, plus 20% attack speed, and plus 10% lifesteal. But the key is the active skill, Wind Chant. When activated, you become completely immune to physical damage for 2 full seconds. And unlike other roles, Brody gets the full duration because he's a marksman. These 2 seconds are game-changing. Assassins like Hayabusa, Ling, Lancelot, or even fighters like Leomord explode you instantly if you're caught. But with Wind of Nature, they waste their entire combo while you remain untouched. Since Brody's counterburst is so strong, this window lets you turn a losing fight into a kill. The stats also give you more sustain and stability during longer trades, but nothing beats the value of that 2 seconds immunity. As the game transitions into facing high HP heroes or sustain-heavy fighters, Sea Halberd becomes essential. With plus 80 physical attack and plus 20% attack speed, the item provides a lot of raw damage, but the passives make it special. Lifebane reduces enemy healing and shields to 60% of their normal value for 3 seconds every time you deal damage. Brody's heavy hits make this anti-heal stick instantly, making heroes like Esmeralda, Uranus, Yuzhong, Hylos, and even lifesteal Marksman much weaker. Then you have Punish, which increases your damage by 8% against heroes who have higher extra HP. Tanks usually stack health items, and this passive punishes that directly. Brody's burst becomes much more effective against beefy frontliners, letting you shred through compositions that normally try to outsustain your damage.
For the non-stopping time.
To round out the build, Rose Gold Meteor gives Brody the perfect mix of safety and damage during late-game teamfights. You get plus 40 physical attack, plus 20% attack speed, and plus 10% lifesteal. But the key is the combination of Dragon Scale and Lifeline. Dragon Scale grants 1 hybrid defense for every 1% lifesteal you have, up to 50. Since your build already includes other lifesteal sources, you naturally gain extra defenses without doing anything. But the Lifeline passive is the real lifesaver. When your HP drops below 30%, you instantly gain a shield worth 120 times your hero level, which means at level 15, you get a massive 1800 shield. And you also get 50% movement speed that decays over 3 seconds. This effect only triggers every 60 seconds, but this one shield often means the difference between dying early or surviving long enough to wipe the enemy team. Brody doesn't have mobility skills, so this shield gives him enough breathing room to reposition, escape, or even turn the fight if the enemy overcommits. Brody fits solo rank perfectly because he gives you control over the game without relying on teammates. His lane pressure is strong, his poke hurts, and every skill you land forces the enemy to back off. Even without rotations or help, you can hold your lane just by spacing well and timing your marks right. That alone already makes him reliable in matches where your team might not communicate or rotate properly. What really makes him stand out in solo queue is how forgiving his kit is. You have burst and mobility all in one, which means even if someone jumps you or your team leaves you alone, you still have a chance to outplay and turn the situation around. His damage doesn't depend on long fights or high attack speed. It's instant, heavy, and consistent, so you can secure kills fast and carry momentum by yourself. Brody also spikes extremely early. With just a couple of items, he becomes a strong mid-game threat who can take objectives, win skirmishes, and pressure the map without needing perfect team coordination. In solo rank, that early control often decides the entire match. And even if you fall behind, he stays relevant because his scaling is tied to his marks and base damage, not full build requirements. One good fight or one good pick can pull you right back into the game. So guys, now I want to hear from you. What do you think about Brody? Do you think he's a solid pick for solo rank, or do you feel like he's overrated? I want you to really think about it. He has that unique playstyle where every hit counts, and it rewards positioning, timing, and decision-making. Some people love that, some people struggle with it. Which side are you on? Do you feel like he can carry a game by himself when the team isn't cooperating? Or do you think he needs too much setup to really be effective? I've seen matches where Brody completely dominates just because of smart rotations and careful plays. And I've seen matches where he can't seem to get a single clean hit because the team is messy. So it really comes down to whether you think his kit is strong enough to shine in solo queue consistently.
Who we are.
And if you've made it all the way to the end, you're a real supporter. Thank you so much. Your support truly matters and helps me keep creating content for you. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe, because I see so many of you watching without subscribing. And trust me, you do not want to miss any of the upcoming uploads. Make sure to drop the word Brody in the comments so I know you watched the whole video. I always love seeing who's really sticking around and supporting the channel. Every like, comment, and subscription helps me continue making content that you enjoy. So if you haven't already, make sure to join the community and stay up to date with all the latest gameplay and tips. Alright, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you again for all the support.